Space. Mine is on space. I love space. I try to go out all the time, find these weird little places in the UK to find space. And I never find it because it's full of clouds, obviously, everywhere in the UK. So I went to a trip to America. This is New York State, and I was over down in Albany. It's an interesting place, and I found this big patch of green, and I thought, there'll be stars there. So Tupper Lake is where I went. Needed to hire a car. And I thought, I need to get an American car. I wanted a pickup truck, but they didn't have it. So I got this, and I missed a fact out from my last slide, which is great, so I don't know why I'm holding these. So this is me, 645 miles into my trip, just getting onto the edge of the Tupper Lake area, which is 6 million hectares. And usually I go to a place to look for stars which is 2,300, so it's a lot smaller. So here I am in Tupper Lake. It's mostly full of really small shops and about 6 breweries for some reason, so there's clearly loads of stuff to there. And out of this I managed to pre-find it, and I found an observatory. And I didn't think observatories looked like sheds. I thought it was going to be a big dome and a massive telescope, and I was going to look through it. But no, it was a big shed. When I got there, it was closed. And they said, sorry, you can't come in. But if you're going out, be careful of bears. Some facts about bears. They said, hide your food, only hike during the day, make sure you're loud, stay in a group, I was on my own, and stay on the trail, because bears like to avoid humans. Facts about space. Stay on Earth, space doesn't like humans. You don't have to hide from your food from space, it's not bothered. Space is there all the time. In space, nobody can hear you scream. And there is a gravitational strength in numbers, and my mass has none. So I set off into the darkness to look for stars on my own with 4,000 bears in this massive national park. So this is my first photo. I took it from my window inside my car, and you can just see one tiny little thing. It was pitch black outside, but I was petrified of going outside. So I stayed in my car. And eventually I built up the courage to step outside the car and take a quick picture outside of the car, which is a little bit better, and rush back in because I heard something. So I'm sorry, I'm moving around from the camera. I was absolutely petrified, but I got to see some stuff. This is actually a planet. I can't remember which one it was. I tried to find out on the way in, but it didn't work. I started staying out a little bit longer because I wasn't getting attacked by a bear, and I went into a nice little spot. So I was putting it on where it stretches the camera out, seconds, it takes longer. Exposure, just in the exposure. And eventually, I started getting more and more nicer pictures, which is great English. But there was a noise. There was a noise that I heard. I was petrified. I ran back to the car. I could not get eaten by a bear because I'd booked my flight home and I had to return the vehicle that I'd hired. And I wasn't properly insured. So I moved and I found a place earlier in the day here, really nice, just off the road, absolutely in the middle of the nowhere. Really beautiful, loads of open space. This was a road that somebody had been doing drag racing on because you could see it on the road. It wasn't me, obviously. This is my first photo. Again, I was petrified. I'd actually gone further away, further into the nature reserve to try and find better stars. So got one star here. I don't know. Well, you can see it that here. Again, longer exposure, learning how to rest the camera on the car, all this other stuff, moving away from the trail. Started to see like further stuff, like little glimpses of galaxies, and finally, what I went for, the Milky Way. It's very blurry because I've only got an iPhone 13, but the idea was there. I saw it. The last time I saw the Milky Way, I'd just joined the Navy. I was 17. I was in the middle of the Wales. I was awe-inspired by it. And this is my final photo. This is what I managed to get. It wasn't overexposed. Nice. You could see the thingy. You obviously can't see any bears. It was ideal for my picture. The point, and I thought everyone was going to put one of these slides in, but they didn't. So I put a word in. So sometimes in life, there are things that don't go to plan. And even though there is a risk with teeth, you overcome the fear, you can get the output you're looking for.